So today we'll talk about introduction to SAP HANA, and we'll talk about reporting and analysis. So HANA database is an excellent tool for reporting and analysis. So again, there is no prerequisite for this course. Anybody can attend. Mostly our target audience is business students, information system students, computer science students, and in general, any business community, anybody who is working in IT, you can join this course. Here we will talk about two-tier architectures, and as compared to the three-tier architecture. We will discuss, inshallah, this one. And this is an interesting concept. We'll talk about HDI containers and their structure in SAP HANA database. We'll talk about information views, and we'll see how we can reuse them. We'll talk about, in general, we'll talk about reporting in SAP HANA. And then we'll see about the case study of this curriculum. So these are the learning objective of today's lecture. So SAP HANA, basically it is an in-memory database, and because of this in-memory database, the reporting and analysis is really easy. So we have we are using SAP HANA as an analytical platform because HANA has so many interesting features, especially from the business intelligence point of view, from predictive analysis, from text mining, text searching. So we will be using SAP HANA. We do have traditional business intelligence tools. We have native HANA business intelligence applications are available. We'll talk about three types of information views, okay, and data modeling overview. So basically, and then we have Web IDE, SAP Web IDE integrated and development environment. We'll talk about that. This is what we are going to. Now, if you see here, this is the analytical platform. So if you look at the bottom, this is the source of data. Yani data is coming from ERP. When I say ERP, actually all our financial transactions are the part of ERP. Controlling transactions are part of ERP. Purchasing, part of ERP, sales, production planning, inventory management, human resource, all transactions are the part of ERP. We have OLTP, again, this is, it could be the ERP, maybe, or it could be a system that we are using in our company. It is not the part of ERP, and we are storing the transaction on that system, so we can have data from those transactions as well. Geo, all kinds of data is about sensors, machine learning, social media like Twitter. Anybody who's interested in Twitter, inshallah, at the end of the course, once this course is finished, maybe I can give you guys some case study on how to do the analysis on the social media. But this is what you have to remind me. So yeah, this is the source of the data, different source of the data that is coming to the HANA. Okay, this is our HANA, is coming to the HANA. If you see here, we have a data temperature. I think last time we mentioned about multi-tier. In multi-tier, we have different kinds of data, the mission critical data that should be available within seconds. Okay, Then we have hot data that is available not in seconds, milliseconds, rather maybe, if it in 1 minute or 2 minutes is okay. For example, emails. The mission critical is like, for example, if I'm like ticketing, if you go to the ticketing office to buy the airline ticket, and if that tickets, and if that request take 1 minute, it's killing, it will destroy their business. So that they need in like less than a second response from the computer. So that is what we call mission critical data, and that is available within less than a second. And emails, for example, if you receive the email after 1 minute, that is no problem, and that is like a hot data. And then we have warm data, that is available on maybe hard disk or flash drive. And then we have like cold data. Cold data is like a backup. We keep it for our government purposes, or whenever we need. We can restore the data, and then we can use it for analysis. So we have like 4-5 types of data. That is what we call data temperature. So depending on our requirement, the data is accordingly. So all the data come from all these sources, and it goes to, if you see here, it is mentioned here, raw data, that is coming to the in-memory. It could be a stream of data. Sensors are sending data all the time. Okay, so that is what we call stream of data. So, and then we have like different engines, processing engine, predictive analysis, analytics, stream processing, text engine, spatial processing. Spatial processing is for, geolocation. For example, if a person is going from one store to another store, one city to another city, that is what we are talking about in spatial processing. From one building to another building. Now, so we have a data, we store the data into the in-memory. We have some engines that process the data, and there we have something to consume, to display. For example, we might be having some reporting tool or business intelligence tool or some applications or some programs. Maybe it could be, so to display on the screen, or to print, for the users, or for. So this is the whole. So we can say that SAP HANA is not only a database, but it is an analytic platform. We can do all kind of reporting, all kind of analysis on SAP HANA. Any question, guys, on this part? Okay, now we talk about 2 tiers and 3 tiers. Guys, if you see here, we are having like 3-tier architecture. This is the common architecture available nowadays on most of the companies, especially those companies who do not have SAP HANA as their database or as their platform. Now, what is happening in the today's world? We have like client server environment. Please let me know how many of you are aware of client server environment. Raise your hand, or maybe write in the chat that you are aware of that. So if someone is not aware, then maybe I can just explain a little bit about client server. Otherwise, I can just move on. Anybody has a confusion about the client server environment? Guys, quiet. If you are quiet, it means nobody knows, huh? Great. Okay, client server environment is like there's a client and there's a server. So this is what we call client server environment. server is the one in the cloud. You can say that. Yes, Loy. Server is the one in the cloud, or server is the one which is with a big computer. For example, your Gmail. Your Gmail has a server, okay? And all your emails are available on that server. Now, your laptop is a client. You as a person are a user. So we are sitting on a client, which is my laptop, okay? I'm talking to you guys, but this whole process, the emails are stored on the server. Now, if I'm using this what you call Zoom. Now this is again a client server. So I'm talking to you from my client, from my laptop. Laptop is a client. The data, the software is on the server. Okay, so my communication is happening to you guys through the server. So my data goes to, my voice goes to the server, server resend it to you guys. So is that, but this is again, when I say client and server, this is again like, any two tiers. So what is the third tier? Now, third tier is like, okay, now I have a client, that is my laptop. I want to access my purchasing system, or you can say like, we just worked on the sales system, right? So the sales application is available on a server, okay? And that application, for example, the sales inquiry, we are trying to create a sales inquiry, and we are entering the data. Now remember, this application, the program which you are watching, is on an application server. Now the data you are trying to store is going to another server, that is what we call database server. So we have two servers, one client. That is what we call three-tier architecture. Okay, so if you see here, we are having like, so is that clear, guys? When we have two servers, one is application server that is connected to the database server. Any transaction we want to read or we want to save, it is happening through the application server, and application server is the one that is communicating to the database server, back and forth. If you want to read it, the application server will read from the database and display the result in the application. And if I want to save or change, then I will be changing on the application server, and application server will be connected to the database so in this way, it becomes a three-tier architecture. I hope, is that clear? Okay, now, what was happening in that, in the old traditional system, that we have a database. This is the bottom part, okay, guys? And then we have like client here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a big area that is for the application server, you can say that. And then we have like presentation application, or you can say the Google Chrome. Huh? This presentation or application is like a Google Chrome. That is a software. Or you can say the GUI which we are using for SAP. So, and then we have a user. So user is using his laptop, using the GUI application connected to the Germany application server, and that application server is connected to the database server. Okay, this is our traditional. Now, what was happening is all the logic, all the processing were happening at the application server level. So we want to process some data. So what we will do, we send a query, and we will read the whole data, bring it to the application server, and then we will do the processing, and we will send the result. The result might be two lines. Result might be one value. Result might be one page. Result cannot be more than that. Okay. So, but what is happening is, Suppose I have like 10 million records which I want to process. So I will be sending a query to the database and I will read 10 million records, bring them back to my application server, do the processing, and send one value or send two values or 10 values or maybe one page to the presentation to the Google Chrome or to my, you can say, GUI application of SAP, sending to the laptop. So this is what we call. So you got the idea now. But the problem was that we are reading millions of records, and we are, not only reading. You see here, we are reading millions of records. So there is a traffic between the data server and the application. Imagine if 2 people or 10 people or 100 people are using and they are trying to read millions of records, you can imagine how much system will be slow because of this data transfer from one computer to another computer for the processing purposes. This was a big drawback. Is that clear, guys? Okay, now, thank you for your feedback. Now we have like HANA. Now, when the HANA comes in, what had happened, you see this application level, application engine or intelligence or all the calculation which we were doing on the application server, the HANA, they shifted everything from application server to the HANA database. Can you see that? So this processing and everything is happening on the calculation engine. So we have a database and we have a calculation engine. Yani all the processing is happening on the HANA database. And where is HANA database? In the RAM. So in the RAM is much faster, From the previous, it was on the hard disk. So if I have to read millions of rows, I'm reading from the hard disk. Hard disk has a limitation. It cannot move 10,000 cycles per second. It cannot move more than faster than this one. So here we have no problem. And what is happening? We send the SQL down to the HANA. We do the processing here, and we just send the result, any one value, two values, or maximum one page. So there is no traffic, there is no movement of data. There is no movement of data everything is happening on the database level. And database in the RAM, and it is very fast, and we have no problem. So we have a database layer, and we have the application layer on the top, presentation layer, you can say that, like a Google Chrome. So we are sending the request from a Google Chrome to HANA, it do everything and just send us the result, and we just display it. So that is why we call it 2-tier, because you have a presentation, yani laptop, and HANA database. That's it. So we don't have like 3 tiers application. Is that okay, guys? Now, if you see, this is the HANA data modeling overview. We have a source data. We had a flat file as well. I think I'll be giving you guys the flat file for this one. We may have Excel file, we may have a third-party data file, we have some databases, some transaction databases. So it could be anything. So we can get the data from any source. It goes to the HANA. It goes to the HANA through data provisioning into the table. Okay. So data is coming from different sources through data provisioning and to the table. So the ultimate place is table. Now, we do have HANA database has the views. Views are like queries. Okay. Views are like queries. So we can, with the help of views, we can read the data, we can process the data, and we can display on the laptop. This is the laptop front end. This is a web, yani you can say that Google Chrome. So we are displaying on the web page, yani Google Chrome. This is like, any application like SAP HANA Studio or something like that, Workbench. So from any source, data move to the HANA database through the provisioning into the table. With the help of view, we get the data and we send it to the laptop, either Google Chrome or the application. This is how the HANA data modeling overview. Any question, guys? Okay. Now we have something like HDI container space. You have seen that we have a space, workspace. So we have a workspace. In that workspace, you can have like, we have a HDI container that contains the database. Okay. So we can have like one database, we can have another database, we can have another database, and we can use different databases to develop some of our calculation view. So it is not necessary that from one database we can get from one database, no problem, that's good idea. But if we have to get some data from other, we can also do that as well. So this is behind the scenes. So one workspace can have many HDI container. This is, for example, this is my container. Mine is learn 000. And this is like another container, another database like GBI demo, So this is my database. This is the demo database created by someone else. So I'm using both of the database for my. Any question here, guys? Any question? We have a workspace. Workspace can have more than one databases. So we are using HDI container that will give us access to different databases. Thank you, Smeya. Now we have like, let's say 3 types of view. Okay. Attribute view, analytic view, and calculation view. Actually, I didn't see any difference in analytical view and calculation view. From what I found is I think they are same, but I don't know, maybe they have either the slides are old or maybe they are keeping something special. Attribute view is a table. Attribute view it consists of okay, you can create attribute view from a table that has no numeric value which you can use for calculation. One more time. Attribute view contains tables that has no numeric value that you can use for calculation. And I need confirmation from you guys. Is that clear? Yeah, attribute view is a dimension, not the fact table. It's a dimension table. And dimensions are like cities, like customer, like product. You cannot do the calculation on the customer number, right? Or customer name. You cannot do the calculation on product number. You cannot do any calculation on the city column, right? So that is why these are dimensions. So any table that has the dimensions, these kind of dimensions, sales organization is a dimension. City is a dimension. Postal code is a dimension. Any column that you cannot use for calculation is a dimension. And if you're using that table for For attribute view, then it is attribute view, attribute view does not have any calculation. Is that clear? And by the way, attribute mean fields, attribute mean column of the tables. So this view contains the column of the table where you cannot do any calculation. Simple. So attribute mean column of the table. So if I say, what is the other name of column of the table? You can say attribute. What is the other name? Is a field. So field, attribute, column, they are same thing. Is that, guys, clear? Analytical view is having like, dimension tables and the fact table. Okay. It is having a star schema. We will see that inshallah in detail, then you will come to know. So this attributes plus the fact table, then you can make the analytical view. And same is the calculation view. I see no difference between the calculation view or the analytical view. I think calculation view is the latest one, which we are using all the time. Now, some of the analytics application, the reporting application option for SAP, if you're using the cloud or the on-premises, if the server is available in your office or server is available on the cloud, then you have like analytical cloud and Rombi and IT operation analytics. Lumira is a software that we are using all the time. Business warehousing, business object with web intelligence, Crystal report. These are all the almost same you see here in the on-premises. Crystal report موجود هنا. Crystal report is available here. SAP business warehouse for HANA business warehouse. Web intelligence. A design studio is not here. Here we have the dashboard. We have Lumira. Lumira is available here. Analytical hub is here. So almost same options are available for reporting application for SAP. Now, if you see here, we are having a calculation view. You can say analytical view. If you see here, calculation view is like a view type is a cube. You see the cube? Cube is a collection of table. It could be 2 tables, 1 table, 3 tables, 4 tables. Yani this cube has all tables for the report which I want. That is what I will call cube. Maybe 2 tables, maybe 1 table, maybe 3 tables, maybe 10 tables, maybe 50 tables. So this, if I have all the tables that I need for my report, that is what I will call cube. You have a folder in your computer. In that folder, if I put like 5-6 files, data files that I need for reporting, that is a cube. That folder is a cube. It has like 5-6 tables inside. Okay, guys. So you can access in the calculation view. You can read. You can access. Access means read. One table or combination of table or views. Okay, you can read the views. You have already created the view. You can read the views and you can display the report, or you can read the tables and the views together. That is also possible. And that is what we are doing all the time. Now, in the calculation view, you can create the joins. You see here, we are joining the 2 tables. We are joining the customer dimension and the sales table. Sales table and the product table. We are joining them together. Okay. We can union them. And if we have 2 tables, similar table, same columns, we can join them. We can union them. Whatever the data available in one table and the data available in the second table, both will come on the screen. That is what we call union. Joining is like, we have a customer here and customer here. So you see that. So based on the customer, I can see the country. If the customers are matching, then I will get the same country for the for the for those customers. That is what we call join. Union is like we have a sales table for 2018 and I have a same sales table for 2020. I can make a union, so I will get the both data, 2018 and 2020. I'll get the both table in the report. That is what we call union. Projection is the display of the columns. For example, I want to display customer number. I want to display piece sold. Khalas, I am projecting only 2 columns. So the projection is for the columns. Which column you are trying to display, that is what we call projection. Aggregation level. Okay, how you want to do the aggregation or calculation. Okay, I want to display data or sales, how many pieces I sold according to the countries. We have 2 countries, USA and Germany. Okay, I'll get 2 records. I'll get total of Germany and all total pieces sold for USA. So I'll get 2 values. That is what we call aggregation level. Because my aggregation level is country, so I'll get 2 values because I have 2 countries. If I say I want to count all, whether it's Germany or USA, no problem. Then aggregation level is 1. I'll get only 1 value. It will, whole database is my aggregation level. So we can create logical models, you'll see, and then enable multi-dimensional reporting. We'll inshallah see in the practical part. Any question here on this screen, guys? If you reply late, we will go late. The class will finish late. Huh? Okay. Now, if you see, we have a customer dimension, huh? Calculation view. We are working on a calculation view. Okay. So, but we have a customer dimension. So if you see, so customer dimension means customer table. And if you see in this customer table, we have a customer, we have a country, we have a sales organization. We have nothing that we can, calculate. If it is a dimension table, we cannot have, even if we have the value, numeric value, we cannot use it for the calculation because the type is attribute. This is an attribute view then. We have sales organization, if you see here, the language column and this inshallah we will make inshallah this customer and the dimension will link these 2 tables and we'll get this kind of information. And this is my cube. Huh? So this is the customer dimension. Then we have a sales distribution and then we will have product dimension. Huh? Sales dimension, product dimension, and customer dimension. We'll talk about that. This is my product table, product dimension. So we will be using this product and the customer into the calculation view. So we'll create a calculation view. In that, we'll use these 2 dimensions. Huh? And remember, this product is linked with the sales organization text, huh? With another table. And what is that? That table has a color for this product group. There's a product group that is common between the 2 tables. So we link. When I say link, we will join. We'll join these 2 tables. Huh? We will join these 2 tables on the product group. So we'll get the product from here and the color from here. So we only need 2 columns. This is the big table, you can say that. Another big table. But we need 1 column from this one, 1 column from this one based on. Now, if you see here, 14 has a yellow color. Huh? And which one is the 14? Oh, XY 300 and XY 400 is yellow. Why we are having white here? Oh, we have another white is, okay, because this is USA, this is Germany. You see that? So maybe this product is in USA and this product is in Germany. That's why we are having yellow and white color. And then we have a green color for 500. That is 12. You see here? And maybe if these guys are, making small mistakes, like, we are all human beings. So it should be like this. So this is, this is a product dimension. That is a customer dimension. And now we come to the, storyboarding. This is our end result, guys. This is what we will be doing. First of all, we'll prepare the data. When I say we'll prepare the data, we will import the customer data, we'll prepare the product data, we'll prepare the sales data, and then we will try to use it. So that is what we are saying. We will transform the data, we'll upload the data, we'll create the calculation view, we will visualize the trend. You remember that we have, like, yesterday we had a table customer, and then I asked you to, go for the analysis, and then in the analysis we displayed some kind of charts. That is what we call visualized trend. And then we will try to compose a story. We'll make the filters. A story like, how many customers, top 10 customers from USA? That is the story. Top 10 customer, top 5 customer from Germany. Top 10 customer overall. That is my story. Then I will share the result. Whatever the result I will get, I'll put it into a PDF file, and I will add some comments, and I will send it to my boss who is looking for that. Now, if you see here, this is how the first step is. I will select the data from different tables. I will add some filters. This is the visualization, and then I will export into PDF or picture, or then I will send it to my bosses. So that's it now for this reporting and analytics. Any question, guys? Any question, guys?
I have a question regarding the views. For example, when we are working on the SAP for HANA portal, are we going to set those by ourselves? We will decide this is an analytical view and this is an attribute view.
Okay, remember, only dimension view is nothing, okay? Nobody needs dimension view, because this is just like you display the columns of the table, okay? So basically in dimension view, we pick the columns from a table that we want to use as a dimension of the report. So mostly 99% we are working on the calculation view. We will be developing the calculation view with the help of some tables and some dimension tables and a fact table. Is that clear?
Yes, it's clear. Thank you.
What is clear? Can you explain?
We will work with setting dimension for the views that we want. For example, you mentioned, we use the country. So the extracted or the generated table will be focused on that field. If we have 2 countries, then we will have 2 in column or 2 rows.
Okay, so basically we will be working on calculation view all the time, but this calculation view will have 2 types of table. One is dimension table and the other is? I'm waiting for the answer, guys. Fact table. Yes, Mr. Kane, very good. So we will be having 2 types of table. One is dimension table, one is fact table. Okay, is it possible that I can have 2 dimension table and 1 fact table? Yes, it is possible. Is it possible I have 3 3-dimension table and 1 fact table? Yes. Yes. 5-dimension table, 1 fact table, no problem. Can I, is it possible I can have a group of, yani 5, 4-dimension table, 1 fact table, another 4-dimension, 1 fact table, another 4-dimension, 1 fact table. Such a complex scenario. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Okay. So, but we will only work until one level. We'll have like 3, 4-dimension tables and 1 fact table. So we'll try to prepare the analysis from that. So guys, I think we can have a break for like 10 minutes and then we'll be back, inshallah. Is that okay? 10 minutes or 15 minutes? Okay, great. 10 minutes, inshallah.